Hello, in this lecture we'll talk about the story of the great poem The Knight in the Panther Skin. Actually, in a nutshell, the story is about the adventures of two knights. The first one is Tariel. Tariel is the hero of the poem, and his nickname is the Knight in the Panther Skin. And the second one is Aftandil, that is the commander of the Arab armies. So the story in more detail can be divided into two parts. The first part is the search for Tariel, that is the hero of the story, and the second part is the search for Tariel's beloved, Nestandarajan. In the first part, Aftandil with King Ostevan, that is the king of Arabia, go to a hunting competition, and after 3 days of shooting game, they encounter a knight that's dressed with a panther skin, crying by a river. So they were very curious to find out who is the mysterious knight. Therefore, King Ostevan sends his servants in order to encounter with the mysterious knight, in order to know who is the mysterious knight. But the knight reacts violently and kills all the servants that came to encounter him, and then disappears. King Ostevan sends parties all over the world in order to search for the mysterious knight, but becomes disheartened when he fails. Then Tinatin, that is the only daughter of King Ostevan, and she is also in love with Aftandil, asks from Aftandil to find the mysterious knight, and she promises him to marry him in return. So after 2 years and 9 months of searching, Aftandil finds the mysterious knight, and the knight tells him that his name is Tariel. He was the commander of the fleet of India, and he was also in love with the king's the kings of India's daughter, so he was in love with the kings of India's daughter, Nestandarajan, but she was abducted by the demon king, and from that moment he was depressed, and he went to a solitude, to the cave in the wilderness, with only a maiden by his side. So when Aftandil hears the story of Tariel, he is very excited, and he promises Tariel his brotherhood and friendship, and he promises him also to help him to find his beloved Nestandarajan. And then Aftandil, Tariel, and also Pridon, that is the ruler of Mulgazanzar, with 300 soldiers, go to the country of the Kajis in order to rescue Nestan from her captivity. Actually, the country's Kaji, the Kajis country is a fortress. It is impossible to invade there, and the Kandis are very strong fighters, so it is actually an impossible mission to rescue Nestan from her captivity. But the three friends of Tandil, Tariel and Fridon, with the 300 soldiers, did the unthinkable, and they succeeded to infiltrate the fortress of the Kandis and to rescue Nestan from her captivity. Actually, Nestan was kept in a high-rise building, in the top of a high-rise building, and 24 hours guards were guarding her in order to prevent from her to escape, or in order to prevent from anyone else to rescue her, but they succeeded to rescue Nestan from her captivity by the Kandis. And the story has an happy ending, in the sense that Avtandil marries Tinatin, and the knight in the Panther skin Tariel marries his beloved Nestan Darajan. Now I'll tell you the story in more detail. The story, as I already mentioned before, can be divided into two parts. The first part is Avtandil's quest for Tariel, the titular, the knight in the Panther skin, and the second part is Avtandil's quest for Nestan Darajan, Tariel's love. In the first part, the search for Tariel, the king of Arabia, Ostevan, has no sons and confers the kingship on his only daughter, the beautiful and wise Tinatin. Tinatin has a tender affection for Avtandil, the knight and commander-in-chief of Ostevan's armies. One day, Avtandil challenges King Ostevan to a hunting competition. After 3 days of shooting game, they encounter a knight crying by a river. He is dressed in a panther skin and kills the slaves sent by the king to contact him, then disappears. Ostevan sends parties across the world to search for the mysterious knight, but becomes disheartened when he fails. Tinatin asks Avtandil to find the strange knight in 3 years, promising him her hand in marriage in return. After 2 years and 9 months of searching, Avtandil finds the knight in the Panther skin hiding in a cave with only a maiden for company. His name is Tariel. Tariel is the son of King Saridan, who has the 7th kingdom of India. He had served as heir to King Pasedan, king of the other 6 kingdoms of India, for many years, before falling in love with Pasedan's daughter, Nestan Darajan. Tariel wages war with the Catalonians to earn the favor of Nestan, but is dismayed to learn that she has already been promised to the Khwarezmian prince for them. Tariel couldn't bear the idea of her marriage, and at Nestan's request, he killed the suitor. The princess was placed on a boat and set adrift on the seas. Despite Tariel's lengthy search for his love, he couldn't find her. Later, he met Noadin Fridon, the ruler of Mulgazanzar, who told him that Nestan was alive but trapped on a distant boat. Tariel retired to a cave to live in the wilderness with Asmat, the former servant and messenger of Nestan. Moved by this story, Avtandil promises his friendship and motherhood to Tariel and agrees to help him find his love, Nestan Darajan. Avtandil returns home to Arabia and tells Tinatin the story of Tariel. Against King Ostevan's wishes, Avtandil returns to his new friend Tariel. So we finish with the first part of the story, that is the search for Tariel. The second part is the search for Nestan Darajan, Tariel's beloved. So in the second part, Avtandil then leaves Tariel to go to the kingdom of Fridon, where he doesn't hear anything new about the star. Continuing his quest, he arrives in the city of Kulansharo. He meets Patman, the wife of the chief Hussein, who falls in love with him. After this, sensing she knows the fate of the Nestan, succumbs to Patman's seduction. She tells him she has been keeping Nestan at her place, and as Nestan was promised to the king's son, she helped her escape, but in her flight, Nestan was abducted by Kaji, the demon king. After this, then returns home to Fridon and to the cave of Tariel, and later all the three friends, that is to say after this, Tariel and Fridon, decide to go to the country of the Kaji with an army of 300 men to find and deliver Nestan. When she is released, all return to Arabia, where King Mustaman forgives Safdandin his flight, and breaking the king's order, they all celebrate the marriage of the latter, that is to say of Safdandin, with the king's only daughter Tinatin. They then leave for India, where Tariel marries his love Nestan. Fridon also returns to his homeland, and the three friends reign happily with prosperity and generosity in their own respective realms. Okay, thank you very much.